Thanks to Amaze for sponsoring this video. Today you'll meet a man who drives more than anyone you probably know. Our friend Dobson averages more than 300 miles a day, 6 days a week, has been for the better part of a decade. He fills up his Toyota Camry almost every day and changes its oil every other week, costing him around $2,000 a month. But as of this week, he's driving a Tesla Model 3 and putting it through the ultimate test.
So if you're actually trying to be prudent, in the immediate, short-term immediate goal is change your gasoline car to a Tesla.
Hey guys, Kim Java here. So today we have a really cool video lined up for you. This is our friend Dobson, who we met about 5 years ago, I would say. We took a Uber ride. We became friends with him. We started just using you kind of as like a personal driver for airport rides. And now, after years of telling him that he needs to get a Tesla, he finally has done it. So today is day one of actually using it.
Tesla. I had this talk with PJ, that's your husband, about 5 years ago. And the funny thing is, each time he comes in my car, he wants to see how many miles I have done. And he's like, wow, you know, you could actually have driven to the moon and back if that were possible with the amount of miles that you have done on your car. And so he started talking to me about the Tesla thing. He was like, hey, do the Tesla, you know, that you don't have to get gas, you don't have to do the oil change and all of that. And then he started to just reel off all the good things that comes with the Teslas to me. And then I was like, okay, for me at that time, the price was an issue. But he said to me, over time, that price would wipe off. Because I was looking at it, I was like, okay, it's a walk tool. It's not supposed to be like a fancy car for me.
Yeah.
Right. So it was a walk tool. I'm going to have people coming in and going out. I was going to put that kind of money down on a walk tool at that time.
And what were you driving? Let's talk.
I was driving a Toyota Camry, and I think I put about 399,000 miles on that baby. Right, and then just dropped it.
Yeah, because that's what I remember. Yeah. And then you bought another one.
Then I got another Toyota Camry. Funny thing is that also has about 277,000 miles on it right now. Right, so I'm like, let me put it to rest. Now I want to now test the Tesla. Now, okay, why did I get the Tesla? Like you all know, oil prices have gone crazy. I was buying gas for about like $450 a week on the average.
$450?
$450 a week on the average.
Wow.
Right. That was like just, you know, like if I said there's some weeks I buy much more.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying on the average it was $450 a week.
And what about oil changes?
And then I was doing the oil change every other week.
Every other week?
Yeah, because I was putting like 5,000 miles on my car every other week. So I had to have the oil change every other week. Then something happened. Uber started to send me messages like, oh, we could give you a Tesla to help you with the oil prices, you know. So I'm like, and then
they
said I could rent a Tesla from Hertz. So Uber had something with Hertz and said, okay, you could get one from Hertz, right? But you pay about $370. So I booked up with Hertz to have one. Then I started thinking about it. I'm like, why am I going to do a rental? Nobody does rentals without really making something out of it. You go and see how much a Tesla would cost.
Doing the math between what Uber offered him for a weekly Tesla rental and how much it would cost him to own one, Dobson opted to buy his own, a 2019 Standard Range Plus Model 3 with only 20,000 miles. His payment comes out to roughly $900 a month, about half of what he was paying for gas alone.
So I looked at that and I'm like, the Uber one was $370 a week. So in 3 weeks, I'd have made my monthly payment on a car that I was keeping, and it would still be less than the gas I was getting, which was a sunk cost, because I was getting gas with nothing. Then I'm getting this baby, and I'm paying less than what I'd have paid for gas. I'm also paying less than what I'd have paid for Uber on a rental and not own. Going with regular gas is even much more expensive than keeping this. You know, so if you're actually trying to be prudent in the immediate, not long term now, initially when PJ was talking to me about it, it was a long term goal. Now a short term immediate goal is change your gasoline car to a Tesla.
I'm super excited to be working with Amaze to give you a chance to win a Tesla Model S Apex Plaid by Unplugged Performance while supporting a great cause. Score the most extravagant Tesla ever built, a Model S Plaid that has been custom upgraded by Unplugged Performance. This is a one-of-a-kind Tesla with a gorgeous cognac-colored vegan bamboo leather interior, a first of its kind for a Tesla designed by Franz van Holhausen himself. satin white vinyl wrapped exterior, a wide body kit, plus carbon fiber accents, and the best part, the taxes and shipping are included for US winners. The Plaid Model S has over 1,000 horsepower, nearly 400 miles of range, and with a 0 to 60 under 2 seconds, it makes this the fastest accelerating production car ever built. Your donations support the Juju Foundation, a nonprofit founded by Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver Juju Smith-Schuster, whose organization is dedicated to supporting youth initiatives and lifting those in need. For your chance to win an unplugged Model S Apex Plaid and support the amazing work of the Juju Foundation, go to omaze.com/KimJava and enter now. Always keep your arrows on. Do you know what these are?
No.
Did you know these pop on and off? So if you want it to be like fancy, a lot of people don't like the look of it. It's actually just kind of like a hubcap, and it snaps off.
Oh, okay.
But if you leave it on, you get, you know, better mileage.
Okay.
So you should let it stay on because that's what you're trying to do.
Okay. Okay.
There are other companies that make them if you wanted one that look different. If you get bored of these, but I feel like
no, these are fine.
For you, that's fine.
It's a walk tool.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not trying to go pick up some chick or something. It's a walk tool, so so he can stay.
I feel like a year from now, he's gonna have the car wrapped. He's gonna have like the little light up things when you open the door. He's gonna have the Tesla hat and a Cybertruck on order.
I hope so. You know what? You know what I'm looking forward to though. What I say to myself is, a Tesla's never been driven by me. You know, I see what I've done to those other cars, right? I see the amount of mileage I put on them. I want to see if this baby would stand up to it. Yeah. You know, because, you know, Tesla's it's like a luxury car. You know, people just drive it for pleasure. You know, you drive to work and maybe come back, you know. Yeah. Now I'm whipping this baby. Yeah. So I want to see when I'm done with it, right? I would want to drive it to a Tesla store and say, tell me which of your Teslas has done this kind of numbers. Yeah. I'm really curious to talk to you like a year from now and see how it's held up to this amount of driving. That'd be a super interesting follow-up video for sure. With a full charge of 220 miles, Dobson estimates he'll need to start each day at least 95%, finding a balance between max range and battery longevity. Because remember, data shows it's not necessarily how frequently you charge to 100%, but the time spent at a high state of charge and high temperatures that leave the biggest strain on your battery. Ideally, a Model 3 with LFP batteries would work best in this scenario. But even Elon has previously said charging to 95% is not a big deal as long as you plan on driving immediately after. But the way I'm saying it, it looks like I might have to charge 3 times a day with the amount of driving that I do.
So there's a couple things that you can do.
Yeah.
Dobson's best approach will be to start at 95% every morning, drive 175 miles in the first half of the day before supercharging back to 90% during his lunch break. He estimates he'll drive another 150 miles in the second half of his day to fully meet his driving needs of over 300 miles a day.
Now I'm like, I want to put it to test. You know, it's called a Tesla. I want to put it to test.
I love it. I love
it. See what he will come up with, you know. Because like I said, I want to see the kind of numbers he will do. And, you know, like everyone says that you can drive a Tesla forever. You know, that you just have to change the removable parts of it a very few. Yeah. You know, worst case scenario, your battery and then maybe the motor or something, you know, and all of that, you know. So I want to see if I will get to that point. Yeah. And then if I do get to that point, how many miles would I have put on the car to get it to that point where I have to have a battery change or I have to have the motor or whatever it is that gets it going, have that one changed as well. You know, so I think I will get Tesla to its limits. So
clearly this is going to be a series where we're going to follow up with Dobson. Yeah. And he's going to tell us at what miles did he need to get new tires? At what miles, you know, did he have issues with the battery? Did you know, hopefully you don't ever have to get that replaced. But we want to know all that. So hopefully you'll let us know.
I'll let you know. As the things happen, I'll just call you up and then tell you, hey, this is what's happening right now. Yeah.
Charging options. Yes. You know, you can always charge from a 110 volt. It'll take forever. You probably don't want to do that. So this is like the Tesla charger. These are expensive. We have a signature one here. Okay. This one is great, but I don't think you necessarily need this.
Okay.
So I would
I'll
say
prefer that one.
Yeah, okay.
You're gonna go with that one?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that one.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, I am. I'm gonna go with that one. Just
Look
get
at
that
you.
one. Yeah, because I mean, hey, I mean, what I
You're gonna go all in. Look at you.
Well, because I'm gonna be doing it every day.
Okay.
And then, you know, sometimes you just want to get it done and done with, and then boom, boom, you're out.
That's true.
You know.
3 strips of bacon in the driver's seat. It's gonna turn on the heat. See how it looks like 3 strips of bacon. There's some funny little things. Obviously, you don't want that now, so you're probably gonna want to turn that off. But you can do like open glove box.
Oh wow.
So whenever you can't find it,
just give it a voice command.
A voice command.
Okay.
Everything, and it will pull that.
This is gonna I'm gonna wow some people. I'm going home. I'm gonna wow my wife. I'm like,
I feel like the voice controls are gonna really like blow people away.
Yeah. And now that's you know, I like showing off. This is what I'm gonna when I have the whole family in the car. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna be like, first of all, I'd first tell it.
Yeah.
Take us to church and give it the address.
Yeah.
Then it will come on.
Are there any incentives that either of the apps are giving you because now you have an electric car?
Yeah. Now you got your it's a luxury car. They count this to be a luxury car. So once you have this, you get on the comfort car level. They just upgrade you. So you're not only on the UberX where it's like down at the bottom. So your fares are higher. You're right. You still get the UberX, which is the bottom level, but you get all these other higher fares as well. You know, and you're eligible to them because sometimes people want those kind of rides, right? And you might be in the area, but with a Toyota Camry, they're not giving it to you.
Yeah.
But with a Tesla, you're getting that. So you're gonna even get more money from Uber as well.
And another thing that I don't even know if you've really thought about much is that when you go to do your taxes and you're writing off your mileage, you're actually getting that all back because you're not now, you know, you're not spending the money on gasoline and oil changes.
True.
So that's another incentive.
True. Okay, I never thought
I'm
about that.
not here to give people, you know, tax advice, but you know, it's something that you know to think about.
I normally will get I do get that from my other cars, but like you rightly said, it's always knocked off on the price on the fact that I do have to get gas and all of that.
Well, no, did you get FSD?
No, what's that?
Full self-driving? No. There is a beta program out there right now. It still needs a lot of improvements. It probably is not worth it right now for you. But you could always try autopilot on freeways, things like that. So with self-driving, the car will kind of keep lane distance. However, it is a little bit jerky. So I would recommend playing with it before you have someone in your car.
When I take my foot off the gas, it automatically just goes into like a brake mode.
The accelerator.
I know, right? I'm getting used to it. I'm getting used to it as well. So once I take my foot off the accelerator, right, it just goes into a brake mode, right?
Yes,
so
it's called regen braking.
So I need to get used to that too, and then see how that works, right? So driving around today, I got a hang of that, right? So I'm just trying to still try to feel the car.
Just want to make sure they don't grab this.
Okay.
That's the emergency release.
Oh, okay.
So a lot of people automatically want to grab this instead of doing the button.
This, yeah.
But at least on the back seats, you don't have to worry about it, and that's where they're going to be sitting the most.
Okay.
Also, sometimes people are a little bit nervous about getting into the car with the Model 3. They don't know how to work the door handles.
The first guy I saw with a Tesla, right? So I was taking a picture of his Tesla, right? And I'm like, he was doing a pickup at the airport. So I was taking a picture of his Tesla, and he came out. So he's like, what are you doing? So I'm like, I like your car. I'm inspired by it. I'm taking a picture of it, you know, so this is going to inspire me to get one too. He's like, are you an Uber driver? I'm like, yes. He's like, go to Uber, they'll give you one. So I automatically knew he got one from Uber. So I saw him come out to show the rider how to open the door.
Yeah,
so he came on and pressed it, and then said she could like open it from there. Right?
What did you used to call your naps? You used to take
Yes, the super naps.
Super naps.
Yes.
I always remember the super naps. You could take a super nap.
Yeah, while it's charging.
While at the supercharger.
Yeah.
Or watch a movie.
Yeah, I mean, if it's 30 minutes, that's fine. Even if it's under an hour.
You know, definitely under. I would say like around 30 minutes.
Yeah, that's still good for me. You know, so it'll just be like, okay, I'm catching my breath back, right? And then I'm taking that break.
If you're in the Atlanta area and you want ride services from Dobson, text the following number to get started. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed this video. If so, do drop a like, as a lot of time and effort goes into these videos, and that's the biggest thanks that we get. We plan on following Dobson's incredible journey with his Model 3 and hope to do more videos in the coming months. Be sure you're subscribed and we'll catch you next time.
Hi PJ, what's up? How you doing? How's everything coming? Man, this Tesla baby, man, it's a smooth ride. My cost savings are crazy, you know, because I charge twice, you know, for the day, right? And so what I've done is I do the, what's it called? I do the supercharging. I just do all my charging right now on the outside because this guy hasn't come to like fix my stuff on the inside yet, right? So I do all my chargings on the outside right now, right, and everything, and I just charge twice a day, and it's like it's a $10 charging fee, $10.47 at the superchargers. And then the car really drives nice and everything, and people coming and they're just totally blown away by it, you know.